Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Hope Logan will turn to John Finnegan for help when an extremity hits. There'll be some situation where Hope needs Finn's backing, so she'll supposedly shoot an SOS and get the good croaker to come to her deliverance. Although Finn's been helping Hope with her migraines recently, it's possible someone close to her will need medical help this time around. Since Beth Spencer will return in the June 13th occasion when Hope reaches out to Finn, it's reasonable to suppose Beth might be the one on the entering end of Finn's medical help. Beth might get a minor injury while playing or come down with a case of the sniffles. There may be commodity that doesn't relatively warrant a trip to the croaker's office, but Finn could still come running and offer his expert opinion. Of course, that could set the stage for Hope's coming fantasy, since B&B's daily exercise videotape shows her tearing Finn's clothes off at the cabin. Maybe in Hope's fantasy, Donna Logan or someone differently will look after Beth while Mommy gets busy with Steffy Forrester's hubby. In reality, Beth might be napping in the other room while Hope struggles to control her fantasies and burning solicitations. Whatever the case, Hope is only going to fall harder for Finn if he steps up for Beth. It may not be a real exigency, but Hope could still find herself impressed over Finn dropping everything to help her son. That could leave Hope allowing about what it'd be like to form a family with Finn and have him play stepdad one day. Finn is still committed to Steffy at this point, but will that change nearly down the line? It'll be intriguing to see what the future holds, especially now that Hope's getting more and more drawn to Finn. Our B&B prognostications allude that Steffy will continue to stand against all this Finn and Hope relating time, so bad news could be brewing if it continues. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Beth could land at the center of the drama briefly in the coming occurrences, so stay tuned for updates on the details. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and updates tease Hope Logan's hot fantasy might be Steffy Forrester's worst agony. But what's the verity behind the coitus scene between Hope and John Finnegan? Do they really hit the waists, or is it Hope's fantasy luring her family? Friday, June 7th's occasion showed Hope and Finn holding hands, also pulling close for a passionate kiss, after he overpraised her neck in the midst of her crippling migraine. Also they appeared to be making out in the Forrester Creations office, the same room where Hope preliminarily started having willful coitus fantasies about Thomas Forrester that evolved over months into the real thing, although at first Hope fought her fantasies and numerous sexy flings happened between her and Thomas on that settee. This begs the question if Hope's preoccupation is now shifting from Thomas to Finn, and this is all a fantasy. Also, in the daily exercise it shows her pulling him down on her after ripping off his shirt in her cabin, luring her family. Thomas Forrester is also her family. Longtime observers will also flash back Thomas is also her family, at least when his father, Rich Forrester, was married to her mama, Brooke Logan. They grew up together while his and Steffy's mama, Taylor Hayes, was missing and presumed dead. Thomas knew Hope as a baby. Finn and Hope are now stepsiblings through her father, Deacon Sharp, so it's different, but there's still as important of an ick factor with him as with Thomas. So what's going on then? Is Hope fixated on stepbrothers? Is she rebounding from Thomas to Finn, or could she have a problem like Thomas did, an aneurysm or excrescence? That could beget her headaches, cloud her judgment and affect her libido, depending on where in her brain it is. Would Finnegan really give in? The big question then's if Hope's egregious preoccupation is shifting and if Finn would really give in. He thinks of her as a close friend, and maybe now a family. Hope could try to betray him, conceivably as a vengeance tactic against Steffy for trying to cancel her line and breaking up her and Thomas. One other thing to consider is formerly again, the show is giving no suggestions what will be, other than the exercise. That's the same thing that happened when it was revealed Finn's birth mama Sheila Carter Sharp was alive, so actually, this could go either way. Finn could be turning bad boy and cheating on Steffy, or in Hope's fantasy, it could be headed that way. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers show that Steffy Forrester is back to trying to cut Hope for the future from the company, and there are a lot of observers who are fed up with this constantly coming back over. Hope Logan has put everything into that line, and Master Steffy is formerly again trying to get relief of it formerly and for all, because as we know, she cannot stand having a Logan's work in Forrester Creations. Unfortunately for her, it may not be her decision with Brooke Logan joining the company. Is Hope Logan for the unborn struggling that important? Steffy is claiming that what she's trying to do is what's stylish for the business and, sorely, according to Carter Walton, it may be true. Hope is having a delicate time coming to the consummation that hope for the future is failing, but, will she get a chance to turn it around? Especially since Thomas Forrester over and left for Paris and left her line in disarray. It's not entirely Hope's fault. Giving her a shot to get it back on track would be the decent thing to do. Of course, we know that Steffy presumably wouldn't give Hope that occasion if it was the last thing she did. Steffy Forrester claims it's because of Thomas Forrester. Steffy knows that the line fractured without Thomas, and being the bone who claimed that Thomas leave, Steffy is nearly responsible for the collapse of the line. Could it be that this was part of Steffy's plan each along? Get her family down from Hope and crash the line? It's veritably possible. At the same time, an entire line presumably shouldn't be so dependent on one developer. Maybe it's time for a change though, and with Steffy at the helm of Commodity, we could get Commodity new and instigative. We've heard and followed Hope for the future for numerous times now, and Commodity new wouldn't be the worst thing to be. With so much back and forth right now, the question remains. Should Hope get a chance to turn it around, or is it time for Commodity new? What do you suppose? Are you Platoon Hope or Platoon Steffy, and what do you suppose happens coming? Partake your studies and flash back to keep watching this CBS cleaner to see what happens coming. We set up out what that Friday thriller kiss was each about. Plus, Katie and Carter's discussion unintentionally caused us major unbelief. It all went down in the Monday, June 10th occasion of the Bold and the Beautiful. Hope and Finn, it was all a daydream? Well, that killer Friday cliffhanger kiss was just as we hoped a dream. And it was solely Hope's subconscious realizing she may have passions for her rival's hubby with the psycho birth mama. So there's a measure of relief then. Finn no way sounded like the Joe to out and out cheat on Steffy. Besides a couple of slip-ups, he's hopelessly devoted to his woman. He's proved that over and over again. Well, except for Sheila and coming to Hope's defense, that is. The relief, still, may be temporary. Steffy's amusement super demanding and outwardly territorial, and Finn does want a relationship with Sheila. So, who knows, that dream of Hope's may end up being some kind of want fulfillment. Right now, it seems fully one-sided, but will it always? Also, one beef with the Hope and Finn discussion. The two talked about how Hope wanted someone good to her and devoted to their family. Yes, Thomas's history is super problematic and a major red flag. But you can't condemn him for his devotion and commitment. He has that in spades for Hope. So will Hope continue to pine for Finn, find someone new, or gravitate back to Thomas when he returns from Paris? This is how we find out about Katie and Carter. What did Katie say in the middle of her venting about Bill, Poppy, and Luna? You were my last relationship? Huh? Were? What just happened then? Supposedly, Katie and Carter are over. In this occasion, they surely gave off a Musketeer schoolworkers vibe. Last week's occurrences didn't point one glance about Katie and Carter, as Katie kept fussing about Bill and Poppy. At first, we allowed. The show would keep us wondering about the erasure of an entire relationship.